Sam in Wonderland. I'm on the dating sites again. Seemed that the last 100 women I've dated, met and fucked didn't work out. Again. Is it me? I'm starting to think so. I'm trying to find a woman of substance today. A real contender. My queen. I'm on a brown skin black girl thing at the moment. Something pretty and close. I wish these sites had more options to choose from. Okay, I don't want a smoker, but I wish there were a few more buttons to tick. Curly hair, tick. Great tits with superb nipples, tick. Plump but firm arse, tick. Educated, funny, smart with a great smile, hell yeah! Sam ticked all of the above and only lived a mile or two up the road in a lovely flat in Islington. A real actress, the belle of the ball, the life and soul of the party. This woman was crazy, in a good and most welcomed way. She introduced me to some of the nicest people and best pubs in London. She was a real girl around town, an it girl. I loved her spirit, and so did my daughter Melody. Yep, I used to write music. She doesn't like me that much anymore. A few words got taken out of proportion, so she fell out with me. I never fell out with her though, and I still like her to this day. So I've found my phenomenal woman. Let's see how long this one lasts. Can we get it past 1,400 words? Bet we can't. So I didn't go on a date with Sam straight away. Our paths just didn't cross. It was raining for a week and she was doing other stuff like visiting art galleries and museums. We spoke one day when she was at the Tate. She gave me a cryptic clue as to where she was, and after a few guesses, I guessed correct. Sam did really get my juices flowing. She had impeccable timing, knew what to say and when to say it, always picking her moment. It seems that we both went to the same ballet school, the London Studio Centre, and at the same time. How coincidental is that, right? That's crazy. I never had one friend when I was 19 and step ball changing across the floor. Could have done with her then. She would have protected me. Those rich kids size 18s pirouetting across the studio were not to be crossed. And get this, everyone other than me smoked. Dancers that smoke, then eat a lettuce leaf for dinner because their body's a temple. I stopped going in the end because the gays used to get on my nerves. They were just too gay. And you can be too gay. There's only so much flirting in the showers any boy can stand. I'd get out when I couldn't stand or pick up any more soap off the floor. They were still good days though, even though I don't remember Sam. I don't think I was into girls then. I was into motorbikes and Michael Jackson. So, to our first date in a pub in Fitzrovia called the French Partridge. Or the Blue French Partridge. Jump in an Uber Lux and off I go. The sun was shining. It was 4 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. What a fucking day for a beer with a beautiful woman. I had a great shirt on with a matching waistcoat and blazer, topped off with a Peaky Blinders flat cap. I looked the nuts. My nuts also smelt really nice. Well, nicer than the smell of the Uber driver. We start getting into town. I remember the streets were flooded with people everywhere. All standing outside smoking and holding a beer, all having fun. Where did that go? I ask you all now. Oh yeah, China ruined it for us, while we continue to trade with them, buy PPE, for a disease that they started. I wasn't going to get political. Okay, back to Sam. I'm dropped off by a black S-Class Merc and head inside. She was upstairs with a group of real cool people. They had dyed hair. I felt like I'd arrived. This was cool and I was feeling great. In fact, I'm feeling great as I write this. The double vodkas and jokes kept flowing. We were having a great time with people I didn't even know. It was wonderful. Sam invited me to parties and places all over London. We went to a Staying Alive party pub one evening, complete with the lighting up floor. Well, most of the lights were working. Obviously, Sam was superb when I got her back to the flat a few days later. I called her up at 10 a.m. By 11, she was on my doorstep. I answered the door. She flounced in wearing a beautiful summer dress, then just dropped it off her shoulders in the living room in about 45 seconds after walking into the room. This lady was so much fun. We went out to Soho a few days later to my favourite club. We were all sitting at the table drinking and laughing. Me being the fool, I didn't notice that everyone at the table had slowly gone down to the toilets, leaving me and one of Sam's friends on our own. A few minutes later, Sam and two of her friends were sheepishly being led out to the door by the 7-foot-tall bouncer. He never smiled, that bugger. Ever. The selfish tossers had been caught doing blow in the ladies' toilets and hadn't bothered to share any with me. I believe seeing two young men coming out of the ladies' toilet may have caused the bouncer to think, hello, hello, hello. We all got ejected out of the place, and I hadn't even done nothing. Like I said, Sam and me ended up falling out over some charity work that I'd asked her to help me out with. I text her every now and then, but I can tell she's not interested in being friends. In fact, after writing this, I'm going to delete her number.